all these young kids that are in high school right now that are being sold, you got to go to college, are going to have some real hard times coming up here. And what am I talking about? Well, in the Wall Street Journal, there was an article that just said that there is 5.6 million new people that are in forbearance with their student loans. That is not good numbers. And we've had years of no paying, of hey, pay what you can, or hey, we're going to pause them. And everybody used that opportunity to say, oh, let's not worry about him, we'll forgive him because politicians sold you a dream. And they said, you know what? We're going to try to cancel him. We're going to get rid of him. And for some people, it should have been way better if they just would have forgiven him, because there's just some people that will never, ever, you'll never see that money. The government just should write it off now rather than later and say, you know what? We giving out loans to colleges that should not be allowed to give out loans. And not every college is the same. But a lot of them are just like, hey, you want to sign on that dotted line and go to college and become a professor, or become a vice president, or become an engineer, do all these things. And this is not reality anymore. Now we're seeing all these layoffs. All these people are saying, I can't find a job, I can't find it. It's taken me a year. I've sent out 3,000 applications. I can't find nothing. I can't do it. And this is now the white collar recession, where everybody's like, I can't make it. My college student loans are due. Now I can't pay this. Now my credit score getting dinged. Now if I need to move for another job, my credit score's dinged, so I might not get the apartment. And it all has to do with when you're 18 and you got to make these life dependent on choices. I don't know how else to say it. It's like these life choices that your parents should have guided you, and it worked out for them that they went to college and did their thing. But for us, it's like, is it worth it to go into hundreds of thousands of dollars into student loan debt to get a degree? In some cases, scenario, if you're going to be a lawyer, doctor, dentist, stuff like that, yeah, you can justify it, because lawyer, doctors, dentists will make hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on what field they're in. But let's watch a video and then you tell me what you personally think.
Today I'm graduating from FIT and I'm studying fashion business management.
What kind of job can you get when you graduate?
Styling and stuff, and just building your clients. Or you can start your business, fashion forecasting. There's a lot of things to do in fashion.
How much could you make in this field?
Everybody has humbling moments. You never know when you're going to get paid, but just have fun with it, you know? Do like other jobs while you do this career. Show your creativity. And if you show how confident you are as a person in your work, people will respect you.
Okay, you heard it. So let me rewind this a little bit. And you got to listen closely what this person says since she went to college for this. Let's rewind it, and you got to listen closely.
How much could you make in this field?
Everybody has humbling moments. You never know when you're going to get paid. You never know when you're going to get paid.
You never know when you're going to get paid. This is the biggest scenario of disaster coming down the road that you're seeing. And when people tell stuff like that, oh, you can run your own business or you can do your own thing, that's entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship does not need college. Entrepreneurship, the only thing you need to be in entrepreneurship is you need resilience. And what does that mean? You need to be kicked in the chin so many times and still get up. That's entrepreneurship. You get kicked in the chin, you then get back up. You get kicked in the chin again, you get knocked out. You shake it off and you're redoing it. You have highs and lows. But if you're gonna say you gotta work other jobs and do all these other things, that is not good. These are recipes for disaster, young lady. And for all these people that are thinking about pursuing something like that, you gotta go for money. When you're in college or you're thinking about college and you're not just gonna take these classes and say, you know what, I'm just gonna take these classes because I'm interested in it, and I don't care if I get a degree in it or not, it's just my passion, then that's a whole nother way of looking at it. But most of the common people go into college and say, hey, I'm going to go in and I'm going to get a degree so I can get the ability to stand out within the job field, show that I can take on more responsibility, get a master's degree, get a PhD degree, do something ordinary to get paid more money. And I always know there's going to be one person in my comment section that says, well, I have a master's degree in watching a tree grow and I'm a VP at a Fortune 50 company. Well, you're not the norm. You're not the average. Maybe you have insane networking skills. Maybe you had vitamin B, somebody hooked you up and said, hey, come work for this company, and all of a sudden it grew to this gigantic corporation and you're just in at the beginning. And this is not reality for most Americans. For most Americans, it's reality of this woman of like, oh, you don't know when you're gonna get paid, you're not doing this. And then what is the future? A future barista. People in the comments were saying, future barista doing stuff like that. And this is never, ever a good sign. And I don't know these people that vet people that should go to college. They should say like, hey, if you're gonna take out this loan or if you're gonna be self-funding, is this a good return on your money? And you could say, oh, this is a hobby that I'm doing, but most people would not spend thousands of dollars going to classes, take tests for a hobby. And I'm curious to hear, do you think that hobbies should have tests and doing everything else? Let me know in the comment section below, because this has some pretty crazy consequences for the economy, for the taxpayers, for your ability to buy a house, for your ability to take out a car loan, everything else. So if you haven't, please like and subscribe to this video and kind of move from there. Because if you want to buy a house, you want to get a good car loan, you want to drive a BMW, you want to own the nicer thing, the White House and the picket fence, and do some other stuff in your life like travel, have a family, most of these things require credit scores. Unfortunately, if you don't have the capital, it's going to require credit scores. And people say, oh, my credit score sucks because I have a whole bunch of cash stacked up. Well, congratulations. But most Americans have about $1,500–1,600 in their checking account, and they go from being broke to getting their paycheck to then pay for rent, getting their paycheck, and over again. That's why they finance their groceries with Klarna and Afterpay. It's not because they feel like, you know what, I have $1 million in the bank, let me just finance it with Klarna. No, it's because they don't have the financial means to just pay for it in cash. And I'm not talking about credit cards where you just, you defer for 30 days. No. I'm talking about, hey, let me just put it on 4, 5, 6 weeks Afterpay, so I just kind of can I can finance a Costco hot dog for 37 cents for 4 weeks or something with Afterpay or Klarna. It's just crazy. And now, all of a sudden, this person will take on her first job, and somebody's going to ask her, so what did that degree teach you? Oh, I don't know. It's going to teach me how to manage fashion business. And there's only a few places that's going to hire you as a fashion manager or whatever. It's going to be Nike, it's going to be Route 21. Oh, hold on, those places are in the downturn. So they're going to get these designers overseas drawing designs up for pennies on the dollars, competing with your wage, and you trying to be like, hey, let me come in and make $50,000–$60,000 and something like that. No, because there's people that can design all over the world for way cheaper, and they can do it remotely, and they probably do it in places like Vietnam or China, wherever these shirts come from. They probably design them right there, and there's probably some designers in the Nike headquarters. But hey, as Nike stock's going down, they got to cut costs, do layoffs, and most of the time it's not just that they do layoffs. Most of the time it's that let's relocate the jobs overseas. Some of it AI took, some of them the designer in who knows where it's going to do. And so what is that going to do? Make it even more competitive. And what does that mean? Let's say it together. You're going to make less money. Let's say it again. The money you make. Why? Because the company knows it. When a company knows that, hey, there's 4, 6, 7, 8,000 applications, they'll then say, hey, you know what, instead of 45, 50, 60, we'll say 35, 45, 50. And so make $10,000 less. Why? Because shareholders need to make money. So if you're going to be going to college, you need to pick a field that pays when you're going to take out student loans. If you can go for free and you can just say, hey, I got this bill, this GI Bill or whatever, and I just go to college for no cost, don't worry about it. You can take whatever classes you want. You can graduate with every degree you kind of want. But if you have to be self-funding and you're going to notice like, this is how much her college costs per semester, $6,000. And then you're out in the field, entrepreneur, selling yourself. You will then really, really fast know how hard it is to make $6,000, $7,000. And it is not just, hey, let me hold a street sign up and make $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. No. Those days are over. Now it's difficult to make $6,000, $7,000, especially when you're starting off. Before you even make the $6,000, you got to invest into what? And if you're an entrepreneur and you're going to go down that route, you got to invest into software. You got to invest into new and a sold prop or something like it, and getting insurance depending on what you do. And so before you even touch any customer, you got to have insurance. And so all of a sudden, now you're like, oh shit, I'm in the hole already, 2,000. So now, because all of a sudden your MacBook's not going to do it, and now you're like, oh, I don't want to have phone calls from my clients at 8, 9 o'clock. So what do? Get another phone. So all of a sudden your tech stock starts rising. That means you got to make more and more money. And I'm telling you, what comes first? Tech stack? You invest in tech stack, or you're going to do sales. So yeah, it is craziness going on in the market. And people will feel it, because if you, those $300-$400 that this person might or might not have with student loans, are going to have to pay back, all of a sudden they're going to be circulating less inside her economy. And I don't know, she's in New York, so eating out, going to happy hours, it's all going to go away because you got to pay back those student loans. And this is a dilemma that we're facing inside the United States, that we're going to have 5.6 million people in the United States are going to have less money than they did before, because those student loans are going to start coming in and kicking in and saying, hey, it's time to pay Uncle Sam. And it is just not good. I'm telling you, this is going to be bad. And I've always been saying, hey, if you have a college, it should almost be incentivized for colleges to help you find a job. And if you get a job, it's almost that your employer should say, hey, your degree's almost free, but we need to vet you to make sure that you can actually then go out and find a job. And then the college will say, okay, now we're going to get some state money. Now we're going to get some grants if you find a job within the first few months of being unemployed or graduating college. And if you can't find a job for a certain amount of time within your field, they should say, you know what, we failed, and this is our burden now, because we taught you and we decided to give you a spot in the college, and now all of a sudden it's just not happening, and you can't find a job in that field, and you go do something else that doesn't pay what the degree was advertised in. No good. And there's a lot of Americans that are in the exact spot, that are like, hey, I'm in a field that that I'm not using and my degree for, but I still has it. And yeah, it is just a world of craziness going around. And we're seeing it. Layoffs, we're seeing it harder to apply. 3,000 applications, nothing, and then we see people get degrees like that. And then we wonder, why isn't this person getting a job, a high-paying job? Because most of these people will then unfortunately be 40 and 50 and still with their student loans looming over their heads and saying, I just can't make the payments. I just can't, because every few years, if you're not on an income-based repayment plan, it's going to keep going up and up and up. And if you don't believe me, because there's always people that say, no, they don't, go scroll on TikTok, scroll on YouTube Shorts, look online and see how many doctors and lawyers there are that have been paying their student loans, their minimum amount due, and it's actually risen from what they've initially taken out, and they've made payments for years. So you gotta nip it in the butt right when they get out, right when you get out. Live like you're still a college student and just make huge payments if that is important to you, obviously. Because for some people, they just say, I don't care. I don't care if my student loans are here, and I don't. But most of my viewers do. So yeah, that is it. So this was it for this video. If you haven't, please like and subscribe. Cooled off a little bit, so I made my video at night. Let me know what you think about all this. Is it craziness? Do you agree with this? Is this something that is just absolutely crazy? Or is it just me? And yeah, and I'll see you in the next one.